Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Auscast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Auscast.
Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
Hello, John Paul.
Hello, Leon.
Hello, listeners, Vine lovers, Vine appreciators, Vine makers, and candlestick makers this week as well.
Oh, very good.
Welcome.
It's good to be back.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. Welcome to another episode of Do It for the Vine, a Vine review and appreciation podcast.
Particularly appreciating. Now, Leon, how are you?
John Paul, I'm glad you've asked that question. I'd love to field it, if I may.
Please.
I'm doing, I would say, well. I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't say bad. A couple of days ago, I walked past a dog in a window, and I could not hear any sound coming from this dog.
How much was that doggy in the window?
$10. How much is a dog nowadays?
I fucking nailed that.
You did.
Were you meaning to set me up for that? Because
No, I wasn't.
I am so proud of the way I handled that situation.
Let the listeners bask in your glory.
Let's just all take a moment of silence. No, I'm joking. I'm so sorry to interrupt your story, Leon. Please continue.
No, you tell. Yeah, do you want to tell it?
No. Let me take it.
And the thing is that the glass of this window was double glazed, and so all I could see from this dog as I walked past the window with its mouth opening and closing with aggression and gusto. But for all I know, it could have been saying, "Hello, I love you," and help. But I'll never know what that dog was saying or how much it was.
The silent barker.
And we'll never know whether that story is true or not. So thanks for asking, John Paul. I'm fine.
All right, well, kind of a weird turn for that to take towards the end there, but all right. That's good, I'm glad.
It jumps around. Now, John Paul, as always on Do It for the Vine, you and I are talking about Vines, the service provided by Twitter at one point between 2013 and 2016 before they cut us off because they're like that.
Savages.
This week we're talking about a Vine that is near and dear to my heart, and also Elise, my partner, her, I think, favourite Vine. She ranks it very highly, as do I.
Oh.
Because the first time I viewed it, it caught me very off guard. John Paul, this week we're talking about Road Work Ahead, as we're calling it.
A good Vine.
It's a very good Vine, and as with most Vines, I remember viewing it with you for the first time, this Vine of mine and yours. But as you know, I'm not one for blabbering, talking, describing, discussing, going on more than I have to at times when words are needed. So, John Paul, can you please, for the sake of not just me, but also the listener, yourself, and your family, paint me a word picture?
Why did you mention family?
I'm sorry. Do you not want to do... Is this not for your family?
I'm just afraid. But Leon, let's not dwell on my fear.
No.
I'd love to try and paint you a word picture. This Vine opens with a close-up of a sign that reads, "Roadwork ahead." The camera then pans to a subject in a car driving, which is a bit of a whoopsie-doodle. It zooms out to expose his whole face to the camera, and the subject then says, "Roadwork ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does." And that's the end of the Vine.
Shivers down my spine, as all your word pictures tend to give me those chills, those thrills, those Sunday pills, for anyone that knows Grinspoon, which is probably not many.
Yeah. I mean, I wish you could see me when they happen. I just sort of, my eyes roll back, I go into a trance. It's just some sort of weird
Yes,
Weird prophecy, I'm telling.
In the editing process, I have to cut out the 3 different octaves that John Paul's voice is in to make it sound normal.
Yeah.
All the whooshing.
My vocal cords split apart, and it's like 3 people talking. Yeah, it's crazy.
John Paul, this Vine is an expert example of comedy and comedic timing. Because we see a sign that says road work ahead, which we've all seen. John Paul, we've all seen this sign before. Everyone
absolutely
has seen this sign. And what this sign tends to explain, to denote, is that there is some kind of work being done on the road in front of you, ahead of you.
Yes, certainly.
But this young comedic genius, this up and coming Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, if you will,
sure, let's go there.
To name some top comedians of our day.
Yeah, they're very current.
When this Vine was made, they probably were.
Sure.
He takes this sign and he flips it. He takes it to mean that the road ahead of him.
Ahead work road?
Well, no, I see what you've done there. You've literally flipped it. No, he takes it to mean that the road in front of him, the road that he has yet to travel, is functioning, is up and running. And his delivery of road work ahead, yeah, I sure hope it does, Scorsese couldn't do it better because he's a director.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he's doing in front of the camera.
Though? Would we? Anyway,
I don't know.
But I think that is what I like so much about this Vine, is that it is not. It is that we've all seen it. We've all seen that sign, and it's like you can imagine your dad making this joke while you were driving in the car with him, but it would be one of those situations where you go to berate him for making another dad joke, and then sort of go, "Hang on a second. That was a solid joke."
Yeah, that was actually funny.
It's funny. It's funny for sure.
It's I think one of the other draw cards of it is that it's wholesome. Like it's there's no flashy. There's very non-flashy camera work going on here.
Some would say even dangerous camera work going on here, as it appears that he is filming while he is driving. But you know.
There's the danger that he's filming while he's driving. There's also the danger of his camera work zooms in so close to his face that I can see into his brain through his nose.
That's great.
But like it's just very pleasant. There's nothing else to it. It's just a boy in his car making a silly joke about a sign.
That's right, and a good solid joke. And I mean, who am I to judge that he's filming himself while driving? Like Chris Pratt did it after he went to see that A Quiet Place movie. So, you know, we're all human.
That's some very specific Chris Pratt knowledge that you have there.
Well, Instagram is really realistically the only thing I use, and I follow him.
Okay.
Boy, that was a deep vein of good storytelling.
I would love it if we could just if we could just change the episode focus to that story.
Let's unpack it. Why did I follow Chris Pratt? Well, let me tell you, Leon.
It all started. So road work ahead, John Paul, a crisp vine from days past. On a scale, what a vine to be a time. On a scale of 1 to Vine being 10 and 1 being the lower number, where would you rate road work ahead?
Look, Leon, there's a lot of factors in this Vine, but it's definitely going to have to be a 9.5 to me. Only losing that 0.5 because of the questionable filming methods, while he was driving and things like that. I don't know if that's a huge problem in America and things like that, but road safety is a pretty hot topic in Australia, so I suppose that's where that comes from.
I would actually, now, because of my first reaction to this Vine and the quotability and the times that I share the joke and the laughter with my partner, strengthening the bond that we have together, I'm going to give this Vine a Vine out of Vine. I'm giving it a 10, John Paul.
Oh, boy.
First 10. Episode 3, first 10. Just throwing him out there.
That Elise has really got her claws in you, hasn't? No, I'm joking.
Whoa.
And I think I may have also just implied that people driving cars safely is not as big a concern in other countries. That's pretty ludicrous.
No,
I'm sure that it's a big deal in another country.
No. I think
That's
you're right.
very
there.
dumb.
No, Australia is prided as the car safety world country. Car safety.
Well, see, I was going to say we seem particularly bad at it.
Oh, I see what you mean there. No, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Well, John Paul, road work ahead. I sure hope it does. And this podcast, yeah. That was
Cancel it. Cancel it all.
Yeah, I was going to say road work ahead. I sure hope it does. And this podcast going on, I sure hope it will. I don't know why'd I even bother doing it a second time for you to listen.
Leon,
to.
Don't get down on yourself. You took a punt and it hit you right in the face. But that's okay.
I somehow kicked myself. John Paul, as always at this time, because this is the third episode, and we've probably had some time to sort this out. We should have a Twitter, a Facebook page, and a YouTube channel-y playlist thing for you to look at, and it should be under Do It for the Vine Pod, as in podcast. Do It for the Vine Pod. If it's not there, don't follow it. But if it is, do follow it. I think that's probably the best option.
Well, I mean,
If it's not, don't. If it is there, do it. And make sure.
Well, how do they follow it if it's not there, Lee?
Oh, John Paul, you're not listening to me.
Okay.
They don't. That's the thing.
I'm so sorry.
I do apologize.
Yes.
The important thing is that as we are new, we are fresh, we are budding, we are what Vines were in 2013. We're what Vines were in 2012 and picked up by Twitter. We need you to share us around if you're enjoying us, with your friends, with any Vine enthusiast out there, with the big wigs at Twitter or the big wigs at Vine would be good as well, so that they can hear this work that we're doing.
Well, it doesn't really sound like there's any big wigs at Vine.
Well, I don't know. There are some founders, and founders are always there's always a place in their heart for Vine, I assume.
That's true.
Maybe this podcast will kickstart V2 to actually get off the ground. Who knows?
Maybe. Well, those are some big dreams. Those are some big dreams there, Leon.
And I'm dreaming them, John Paul.
I'm glad you are. Let us know as well what sort of Vines you're into, and what Vines you'd maybe like us to have a look at and give our thoughts on.
Yeah, and
our crucial thoughts that are really just changing the world.
The thoughts that the world didn't ask for, but they're getting. And let us know if you agree.
They'll take them
with our ratings as well. But as always, John Paul, as we come to the end of another episode of Do It for the Vine, wherever you are, whatever you do,
just do it for that Vine.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Auscast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Auscast.
Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.